Hi, this is Math 10 A&W with Mr. Sandhu. We are in Chapter 3.3 in your Math 10 Mathworks workbook. And this is example number 3 of 3.3, and it's on page 149. So Harry has to paint the walls and ceiling of a room that is 12 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8.5 feet high. There is a 6 foot by 4 foot window, a 2.5 foot by 7 foot doorway.
Any BD grade 9 who are in the building, please proceed to room 218. That's BD grade 9, please proceed to room 218.
All right, there's a 2.5 foot by 7 foot doorway and a mirrored closet door that is 6 feet by 7 feet. What surface area must he paint? So the solution here says find the total area of the 4 walls and the ceiling, then subtract the areas of the windows and doors, because you're not going to paint the windows and doors. Okay? Now, here's the problem. Here's what I notice. I notice that when students get a question like this, there's a lot of students that simply see numbers and they start doing stuff with the numbers. And some of you have the ability to visually, in your mind, see this room. And so you know what they're saying in this story, just you can see that picture in your mind. And some people aren't like that. So I think one of the things people should consider doing is drawing a picture so that they make sure that they are clear on what these numbers relate to. Now, if you guys are doing your work right now and you're not listening to my lesson, then you're not doing the right thing. Okay? So you guys should have this open. Amy, you should be doing this and learning right now, because this is the only time I'm going to teach this. Okay? All right. So I'm going to start by drawing this room. So we've got this room here. I kind of try to draw it like a three-dimensional shape here. It doesn't really matter if it's accurate in terms of its shape. It just matters if it's labeled properly. So there it is. It says that this room is 12 feet long. And it says that it is 10 feet wide. It says that it's 8.5 feet high. And there is a 6 foot by 4 foot window. So I'll put that here. Call that 6 foot by 4 foot. And there's a 2.5 foot by 7 foot doorway. So let's just put that, say, here. This is 7 feet, and this is 2.5 feet. And then there's a mirrored closet door that is 6 feet by 7 feet. I'll just put it on the same side here. 6 feet by 7 feet. And what they want to know is the surface area he must paint. So we're not going to paint in these places here. We're going to paint everything else. And the strategy is find the total surface area that's going to be painted and then subtract the surface areas of those 3 items. So let's do that. We have basically this is a cube, but we're not going to paint the floor. So we're going to paint 4 walls and a ceiling. So I'm going to make my little list here. And I'm going to say, in terms of my walls, we're going to have an 8.5 by 10 foot wall. And I'm going to just convert that right now to decimal. So I'm going to go 8.5 times 10. And there's going to be 2 of those. So I'll just right now say times 2. All right. And that's going to be 170 feet squared. And then we've got this front wall here is 8.5 feet tall as well by 12. So I'm going to go 8.5 times 12. And we are going to have 2 of those. So might as well just double it right now. It's 204 feet squared. We've done 4 walls now, and the only thing that's left is to do the ceiling, and the ceiling is the same as the floor, which is 12 by 10. So, and there's only 1 of them, so I'm going to go 10 times 12, and I'm not going to double it because there's only 1 ceiling. All right, now those are what's going to be added, and I can total that up if I want to right now. Okay. Stop. What did I do wrong here? 170 plus 204 plus 120. 494. All right. I must have not clicked one of the hundreds there. Thanks for catching that. $494. Good. All right. So that's if we had no windows. Now let's subtract what the windows, doors, and mirrors contribute. So we have a window that's 4 by 6. So we're going to subtract 4 times 6 equals 24. We're going to subtract the door that is 2.5 by 7. So let's say 2.5 right now by 7. 17.5. Um, 14 and 3.5, yep. Okay. And we have this guy here, 6 and 7, which is the mirror. Okay. So our total deductions are going to be 24, 34, 74, 75, 76, 70, 84, 83.5. 84.5, right? Okay. 83.5 feet squared is the deductions. So let's just simply make that deduction. We're going to take this amount here. We're going to subtract this amount here. And $494 subtract 83.5. And we have 410.5 feet squared. All right. I'd like to check to see that we are correct according to the question here. And let's see. What have they done on the next page? 410.5 feet squared. Okay, so we're good. A question like this, you guys, is not difficult in terms of the basic math. We're really just calculating a whole bunch of different areas. Some of the areas are being added, some of the areas are being subtracted. It just takes time, but it's not complicated. It's just important you understand the strategy. What was my strategy? What was the first thing I did in order to make sure that I was on the right track? Yeah, I drew a diagram, and it is a very good strategy. And often when I get a kid calling me over to their desk saying, I'm struggling with this, there's no diagram. It's usually the case, okay? You don't have to draw the diagram, but if you're struggling, I think you should. All right, so that's that, and you guys have some time here to do some work period, and I will interrupt your work period in 10-15 minutes, and we'll do another lesson.